Recording is on.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Yoga Flow. So for these first 2 weeks of November, I'm going to give you a little bit of a flow practice. And not necessarily meaning it's really energetic. It's not a hard class by any stretch of the imagination, but I just want us to feel like we're moving through our practice a little bit more. And my focus today is on rotation of the spine. So twists in the cervical spine, the neck to release tension in the neck, into the thoracic spine. And our lower back doesn't have much range of motion in twisting, so we're going to be really careful of our low back and always have the abdominals braced when we're doing our twist today. I also had a little special request on adding a little bit of Tai Chi Warm Up today. So we're going to start standing today, and stand with your feet maybe just a little bit wider than hips distance or just about hips distance apart. And you can close your eyes through these first few breaths if you'd like. I'd like you to soften into your knees. And as you inhale, just allow the hands to rise up and your fingertips are slightly dangling. And then exhale as you flip your wrists to where the fingers are now on top as you float those hands down. And we inhale as the arms rise. Exhale as they fall. And really allow this to be a centering breath to bring you into the present moment as we prepare for our practice today and that mind-body experience. And one more, inhale. Exhale. Now we'll allow our lower body to be part of this breath. So as we inhale and float the hands up, the legs completely straighten. Then as you exhale, sink down into those knees just a little bit. And you should feel a small amount of stretch in the back of the ankle. The feet are in a parallel position. And try not to arch your back too much here. So it's not really a tilt of the pelvis. We just sink into the knees. And one more, inhale. And exhale. Rise back up out of the legs with just a softness in the knees. And bring the right palm on top of the left. This is embracing the moon. So we'll start to switch this back and forth. So as you swap the hands, the bottom hand comes on top, embracing the moon. And we'll apply the breath. Inhale as you're making that switch between the hands. Exhale as you feel energy, like you're pressing into an imaginary ball. We inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's take one more so that the right hand is on top. You're going to roll this ball in a forward action. So you'll turn the top palm forward and away from you and start to roll the ball. So the hand that's on the bottom, your palm starts to turn in toward you. And the hand that's on the top, the palm turns away. And you're just warming up through your forearms and your wrists and through your shoulders. We have a softness in those knees. Just breathing wherever it feels comfortable for you. Shoulders are relaxed, abdominals gently braced. And then you're going to roll this ball the opposite direction. So the bottom hand, the palm starts to turn away. The top hand, the palm turns towards your body. And not too fast of a pace, just a gentle movement. And we're checking in to see how the shoulders are feeling, the elbows, the wrists. And one more circle this direction. And then we'll take our embracing the moon and flip, so now the left hand is on top. Roll the ball, moving that top palm forward. The bottom palm comes in toward your body. We're heating up the shoulders, heating up the wrists, so those joints feel a little bit more comfortable in our practice. And one more circle this direction. And then we'll reverse, rolling the ball the other direction. Bottom hand is going to turn the palm toward the camera or away from the center of your body. Top palm is going to turn in toward you. And I'm actually starting to feel a little work now in my forearms, in those muscles. Because each time I flip, I'm rotating that lower arm. There's two bones in that lower arm, the radius and the ulna. They kind of rotate across each other when we turn our palm up and down. And one more circle this direction. And coming back to embracing the moon. Then relax your arms next to your side. So bend the knees, soften, come back up and pivot on your right foot and do a small lunge to the corner of your mat. Push away, bend your knees in the center, come up, and a small lunge to the left corner. So small squat, down, pivot, and small lunge. One more. And come back to center. Now take that embracing the moon with the right hand on top. Do your squat. Come up, pivot to the right, and brush the right hand over the top of the left leg or right leg and push across with the left hand. This is called brush knee. Then we come back to embracing the moon with the left hand on top, sink down. Come up as you pivot and turn, brush knee with the left hand, press across with the right. That right hand now comes on top, embracing the moon. Sink, rise, brush knee, and press. So we do this nice and slowly. It's meditative. And we're learning that movement. And brush and press. And once we have the movement, we start to add the breath. So as you press across, that's your exhalation. As you come back to embracing the moon, we inhale. And exhale. Your inhale is your yin breath. Your exhale is the yang breath. Inhale is your cooling breath. Exhale, your heating breath. And brush knee. One more on each side. Embrace the moon. Brush knee, press. Embrace the moon. Brush knee and press. Come back to center where we began. 3 breaths. Let the fingers dangle as the back of the hands float up. Exhale. Inhale. Nice long spine. One more breath. And exhale. Step the feet wide. Sink down into a squat. Bring your arms up. Elbows are below the level of your shoulders. Twist your body to the right and look over that right shoulder and use the right obliques to pull the body into rotation. Inhale back to center. Exhale, rotating to the left. So we're not using momentum to twist here. We're using our muscles. As we move to the right, feel those obliques in the upper back. And come center. And left. And center, sink a little deeper in those legs. One more each side. Rotate. And center. And to the left. And center. Press up out of the legs, relax the arms. And then step to the top of your mat in mountain pose. Now today I have a chair as an option to use for some of the poses. So for balance and for some of the twists, you can use a chair that will be right at the top of your mat. Take a nice breath in. And as you breathe out, swan dive into forward fold. So if you like to use your chair, your hands can come right on top of the chair as you sink down into that forward fold. You can let the fingertips reach down to a block or to the floor. Soften the knees. Inhale, rise back up with the yin breath. Exhale into the forward fold with your yang breath. And 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Lengthening the backs of the legs. One more time, breathe in. And swan dive down, breathe out. We'll walk the feet back behind us into a downward facing dog. Now, if you like to use your chair for down dog, hands can come up on top of the chair, just walking those feet back any amount. And stretching through the upper back, through the shoulders, broaden through those shoulder blades. And your knees can be bent to any amount that you need to. Feet are parallel, about hips distance apart. Now we're going to lift the right hand off the mat and reach it across towards your left ankle. Look underneath your arm and twist. Reach that right hand back to the mat. Pick your left hand off the mat, reach across and twist. And just alternate sides at your own pace. And if you're feeling uncomfortable, again, being on your hands on the ground, this is a great one to do with hands up on the chair. You can reach that hand across and twist. Nice and gently. And switch when it feels right for you. And you're looking way underneath that armpit up toward the ceiling, rotating the neck. And one more, right and left side. Back to center in your down dog, either on the chair or on the mat. 2 more breaths. And then glide forward into plank. High plank position, the knees are off the mat. Low plank position, knees are kissing the mat, but abdominals really pulled in and upward. And then we'll lower our body all the way down to the mat, chaturanga, bending the elbows as we sink the belly all the way down to the floor. Turn the tops of your feet to face the earth. Draw your shoulder blades back. And then we'll bring the fingertips right next to the temple with the elbows out to the side. Lift the chest up and gently rotate to the right side, activating the backside obliques, the right side of the body. And lower back down. Chest is still up. Rotate to the left. Strengthening the back body. One more each side. Legs are really active. Pressing the tops of the feet into the floor. And one more to the left. I'm really feeling this work this morning. Come back to center. Bring the palms of the hands underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up and back into child's pose. Extended child's pose. The hands are reaching out long toward the top of the mat. And then one of my favorite twists is thread the needle. This always feels so great for the spine. So let's come up to hands and knees. We'll take 3 breaths, lifting the right arm up, gazing up toward that top hand. Exhale and thread that hand through, laying your right shoulder down onto the mat. 2 more. Inhale the yin breath. Exhale the yang. 1 more time. And then we'll hold that twist for 3 breaths. This top hand can wrap behind your back into a little bit of a bind, maybe feeding your fingertips right into your right hip crease. If that doesn't feel comfortable, another great option is to reach that left hand up toward the top of your mat. Then we'll prepare to rise, pressing the left hand back underneath the shoulder. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale that hand down. 3 breaths to the left side. Stretch, inhale. Exhale, reach through. A gentle turn for the neck. And breathe in, stretch up. And you might notice some differences between the right and left side in your range of motion. 1 more. Then thread that needle through and we'll hold 3 slow breaths. The right hand can wrap behind the low back to revolve that shoulder open. Or we can reach out long toward the top of the mat. And then as we prepare to rise, the right hand presses back into the floor. We inhale, lift up. Exhale and relax down. Take the right foot, take a generous step forward into kneeling lunge. We'll inhale, stretch up through the fingertips, opening up that left hip flexor. Exhale as we reach down to the mat and straighten out that front leg any amount, pulling the toes up toward the earth. And then shift that body weight forward. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, press back. Now just a little demo with the chair here for this one. You can use your hands on top of the chair to give yourself some support and lift. And then we'll do that 1 more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, stretch that front hamstring, toes pull up. And then come back into your kneeling lunge. Your hand can stay on the chair. You can bring hands down to the mat. We'll open out to the right side into a twist. Inhale. And exhale, lower down. And really be mindful of this shoulder as you're stretching up. If that bothers your arm, you can bring your hand to your hip and just rotate your spine without using the arm. Let's take this one up to hold, stretch. And lower that hand down. And we'll do 1 final hamstring stretch, pressing back. Pull those toes up. Lengthen. See if you can find a nice range of motion here. Or hands on top of the chair. Then to switch sides, place both of your hands to the inside of that right foot. And then just swing the leg around to the back. And we'll step the left foot forward into a nice kneeling lunge. If you're using your chair, keep it close by here for the hamstring stretch. Inhale, reach. Open up that right hip flexor. Exhale, press back. Pull the front toes up, stretching through your hamstring. And 2 more. Shift back forward into that front leg. Rise. And exhale, reach down, press back, pull the toes up. That's elongating the calf muscle as well as the hamstring. And again, reach up, inhale, drop the hips forward and down toward the earth. Exhale, press back. And then come forward our last time into the lunge. The right hand stays down on the floor or onto your chair. We'll open out to the left with your twist. Inhale. And lower back down. Exhale. 2 more. And that left hand can be on your hip if that's bothering your shoulder. And down. And we'll hold this last one up. Reach. You're pulling that left shoulder back, shining your heart through, turning your gaze up to the sky. And then we'll lower that left hand down, press back into your hamstring stretch one last time, pull the toes up, lengthen. And then we'll bring both hands in the middle to swivel that left leg back around to meet the right. Open your knees fairly wide and sink the belly down into a wide knee child's pose. If possible, allow the forehead to find the mat. And just take a moment to check in. Notice how you're feeling. And then when you're ready, we'll move back into a downward facing dog, tucking those toes underneath, lift the hips up, press the heels evenly into the floor, and then take as many steps as you need to walk your feet up towards the top of your mat, into forward bend. Hands can be on the chair, just relax, lengthen the backs of the legs. And then reverse swan dive all the way up. Reach up into the fingertips, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute, and press the palms into heart center. And then we'll work on a little bit of balance today. So if you need your chair, just have it close by so that you can use it for a little support or for the wall, or use a wall. We'll reach the hands up nice and high, stretch. Then lift up the right foot. You're shifting your body weight into the left. Pick up the knee, and we'll reach the hand to tap across your leg. Then set that foot down, reach up. Shift your body weight into your right foot. Pick up the left knee, and twist. So I just want you to go back and forth between the 2 sides, just getting a feel of how your balance is today. If it bothers your shoulders to reach up, then you can bring hands down here. Keep it low as you reach across. And center. And reach across. Now, next time the right knee comes up, we're going to hold that. So pick that right knee up, hold. I have my hand across the outside of my leg. I want you to glue your big toe to your left inner thigh. And then start to turn the spine toward the right. So your chair's there if you need it to help you with a little bit of assistance. And your right knee continues to point straight forward. If you fall out of the pose, just collect yourself and mindfully come back in slowly. And 2 more breaths here in our standing twist. Nice long spine, 1 more breath. And then come back to center and relax the knee down. If you need to turn to face the other direction for access to your chair, feel free to do that. We'll pick up the left knee, reach across with the right hand, and then glue your left big toe to the inside of your right thigh or your lower leg. And start to turn any amount. And as you continue to breathe, the yin breath, the inhale, creates a longer spine. The yang breath, the exhalation, creates a little bit more twist. See if you can look behind you. 2 more breaths. And come back to center. Ooh, had it good till the very end. And then come back to feet about hips distance apart or closer together. Take a nice big inhalation and press the palms and exhale. And then widen your feet. You might need your chair in front of you or a block. So I'm going to use my block to show example. If you need to place your chair right in front of you, we're going to be doing a wide leg forward fold with rotation. So step those feet out nice and wide and allow your feet to be parallel to the front and back edges of your mat. You're just taking your legs a comfortable distance apart. Take a breath in and breathe out. Swan dive down into forward fold. If your hands can find the mat, that's great. Or to your chair, or to your block. And before we twist, just allow gravity to pull your head down toward the earth, to free up any tension in your neck. Knees can be bent any amount. And this is also a wonderful pose to be done sitting in your chair. So you can sit yourself on the very edge of your chair, widen your legs, and fold yourself right through that space. And then we'll keep our left hand right in the middle. You can use your block at any height and rotate open, reaching through the fingertips, or placing your hand right on your hip. Just pull that shoulder back and breathe. And then we'll lower the hand back down, switching sides. Lengthen through your spine, through the crown of the head. Stretch that arm either up or bring it to your hip, or you can even wrap it behind your back. And feel the muscles of the posterior obliques firing to hold that rotation. And then we'll lower back down. As we do 1 more each direction, you can move the block closer toward the right foot and rotate and open. Or you can place that left hand across the right ankle and twist. And 1 more to the left side. Reach across toward that left foot. Rotate. And come back center to your wide leg forward fold for 3 breaths. And your arms can be wherever you'd like. You can reach them out like a down dog to stretch through your lats. You can reach them through your legs to pull yourself underneath. And 1 more breath. And then just place your hands at your hips. Use the strength of the back body to pull yourself back up to a stand. And then we'll turn the right foot out as we sink down into Warrior Two and extend through those fingertips. Shoulder blades are down, nice long spine. And then wrap your right arm on top of the left. You can either reach for the backs of your shoulder blades or wrap your arms into eagle. And then pull your elbows toward your back leg. Take your head and your gaze and look toward the front leg. So I'm using this left arm to pull my body into a slight rotation to the left side. As I turn the head to the right, opposing directions, a little bit of a spiral twist. And come back to center, and we'll fold into a variation of humble warrior. So we round the body forward, our arms are still wrapped, and we dangle toward the earth. And if that's not comfortable for you, just stay upright in your eagle arms or bring your hands down to a chair. And separate your shoulder blades. Let your arms feel really heavy. The head is relaxed. And one more breath here. If you can, rise back up with your elbows wrapped or bring your hands to your hips and rise back up. And then we'll pivot the feet so this right foot turns in, the left foot turns out as we open out into our Warrior Two and lengthen through the fingertips. And really important that we pull the shoulder blades down, that we're not elevating and using our upper traps. And then we'll cross the left hand on top of the right and either wrap around for the shoulder blades or into our eagle arms. And then we'll pull our elbows toward the back leg, which is the right leg, coming into a little bit of a twist, and then send your gaze toward the front leg. Activate the legs and the core. And we're breathing, maybe finding that Ujjayi breath. Soft whisper breath by slightly constricting the back of the throat. And then we'll come back through the center, bowing into our humble warrior variation. We hinge forward. And we're scooping the abdominals in and up. And our back is slightly rounding to release tension right between the shoulder blades, a place where we often keep that tension where it resides. So just let it go. And then either coming back up with the arms still wrapped or place the hands on your hips and rise back up. And then we'll turn toward that front foot, reach the hands back down to your mat, step yourself back, downward facing dog. And drop your knees, wide knee child's pose. Stretching the fingertips out toward the top of the mat, drop the forehead. Allow the ribs to open up with the breath. And then we'll rise up to a seated position for some twisting stretches. Sometimes it's comfortable to sit on a little bit of a blanket or a cushion. And if you have your yoga strap, that's an excellent tool to use here as well for your flexibility. So extend both of your legs out long, and you can have a soft bend in your knees. If you're really tight in your hamstring, it's a nice tool just to wrap a little towel underneath your knees so you've got the knees bent but with some support. And then we'll bend the left knee and set the foot firmly onto the floor, hugging this knee in close to you. Now separate your foot about a fist distance from the other leg. So I have this distance here between the left ankle and the right thigh. And then we're going to reach up, inhale, and lengthen through the center to find that right foot. And here's where your yoga strap comes in handy. So we're going to reach up and loop that strap under the bottom of the foot and very gently allow some pressure to pull back on the ball of the foot to stretch through the calf. And sometimes this knee wants to open out, so activate your inner thigh on that left leg and pull it in. If this is a really deep stretch and uncomfortable, don't worry about using your strap. Just bring your hands behind you. Gently press yourself forward into that stretch. And then we'll come back up and add a twist here. So the left hand reaches, comes across toward the right knee. The right hand is behind you to create a nice second spine. Inhale, lift, exhale, and twist to the right side. Each time we take that in breath or the yin breath, we lengthen the spine upward. Each time we exhale the yang breath, we find a slight increase in our twist. And prepare to counter twist. So lift those arms back up. We can wrap them around the leg or just hug the knee. And look behind you to the left, increasing the length of the spine. Make sure you're not torquing the low back. Look as far as you can over that left shoulder. Last breath here, inhale. And exhale back to the midline. Nicely done. We'll switch and do that series of poses on the other leg. So right knee bends in toward you. You have about a fist distance between the inside of your right ankle and your left thigh. You can use our yoga strap. Stretch up, nice big breath. And reach through. Ooh, this side feels tighter for sure. And then we're hugging this knee, boom, right into the shoulder. Or we can just use our hands behind the back and press ourselves forward. Now this foot can be any distance away from your glute, so it might feel more comfortable if you take a bigger step forward with that right foot. And one more breath. Inhale. And exhale. We rise back up, releasing the strap to find a twist to the left first. So right arm reaches. We reach across that left thigh. Left hand behind us to create a second spine. Lengthen and turn. And just notice what you can see behind your body. With each yin breath, increase the length of the spine. With each yang breath, increase the twist. One more breath. And then we'll do our counter twist, rotating the opposite direction. You can hug that knee in toward your shoulder and really lengthen the spine. Abdominals are gently pulled in to brace that lower back. And one more breath. And release that twist. We're coming onto our back for core work. And one of the best exercises we can do to strengthen the anterior obliques of the front side of the body is some rotating abdominal crunches, little bicycle type movements. So come down onto your back. And we'll start by keeping the feet flat on the floor. And we'll support the head with the left hand right behind you so that you're not overly straining the neck. Have some support there. And the right hand reaches up and across the outside of the left knee. And we hold. Scoop the abdominals in. Now do 10 tiny pulses here. Reach. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and lower the head down. Right hand supports the back of the head. Left hand reaches across right knee and hold. So I have my right shoulder blade down onto the mat. My left shoulder blade is lifted up. I'm really working through those obliques. 10 tiny pulses, reach. 10, 9, 8, 7, just small ones. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Both hands support the head. Lift those shoulder blades up slightly off the mat. Lift your right knee up and then rotate your spine so the opposite elbow comes across to the knee. And sit down and switch. And I'd like you to take a count of 2 once you come up. Hold 1, 2, lower down. Come up, hold 1, 2, lower down. Relax your neck muscles. And up, 1, 2. Breathe in as you lower. Breathe out as you're up. Exhale, exhale. One more each side. And switch. 1, 2, and lower down. Now we have the option of doing one more set with the feet grounded on the mat, or if you'd like to move it up a notch, take both knees up into tabletop. Hands are behind the head. Elbows are open. Lift the shoulder blades up off the mat. As you come across to that right knee, you'll leave it into place as you extend your left leg. Hold 1, 2, inhale down. Across, hold 1, 2, inhale. We have 10 total repetitions, 5 on each side. 3 more to go. Twist, hold 1, 2. 2 more each side. Really lift that shoulder blade up off the mat. Relax your neck into your fingertips. 1 more each side. Rotate, hold 1, 2. Last one. And relax down. Now we'll keep our knees in tabletop. Bring your elbows to press into the floor to brace your body, your upper body, and drop your knees over to the right side just a little bit. And you will be rocking over onto your right hip. Hold 1, 2, and come back up to the middle. Slowly drop your knees any amount to the left. Hold. And come up. You can also do these with your feet, the big toes down onto the mat. Drop those knees across. Hold. And back up through the midline. Rotate. Hold. And we have 3 more each direction. Coming into our active dynamic twist to work the core. And the range of motion is whatever feels good for your body today. So we're not coming all the way down to the floor and losing the work. We're floating up off the mat. 2 more each direction. Hold. And up. Really press those shoulder blades firmly into the mat. And 1 more each side. And then once we come back to center, just hug the knees right into the chest. And we'll prepare for a twist where we'll hold for a time. So I like to use my props to set my knees upon. So I'm going to bring my blanket over to the right side of my body. It's nice to have where'd my block go? There it is. It's nice to have a block too. So I have a blanket and block next to the right side of my body. And then bring those knees back up to your chest and drop them over to the right until you're in a comfortable twist. So I'm just letting my legs fall onto my props. So this feels like a moderate twist, not too intense, but something I can really relax into. And another benefit is this stretch across the pectoral muscles and the fronts of the shoulders. And then you can keep your gaze straight up toward the ceiling or turn your head the opposite direction from your knees. And then begin to breathe generously into the rib cage. So as you inhale, expand your ribs fully. And exhale each breath completely. Three more breaths. And then bring your head back to neutral. You can remove your props if you'd like to, and then roll onto your side. And I'm going to stack my knees, left knee on top of the right. Hands are stacked right in front here. And then draw a big rainbow above the head. I'm touching the floor all the way around until my arms are directly opposite from one another. And then draw that rainbow back over your head to come back to the center. And reach, rolling that top shoulder back. And it's okay if your knees slightly come apart. Back to the midline. And then one more, open, and hold. And that left hand may or may not reach the floor. Relax and breathe. Stretch. 2 more breaths. And then reverse that rainbow till you come back to lying on your side. You can cradle your head a little bit for support. Reach forward and take hold of this left ankle with your left hand, and then try to pull the leg back into a quad stretch. So if that's difficult for you to reach that ankle, take your yoga strap, loop it over that front ankle, grab hold of it, and then pull back. Another nice way to do that is you can create a little loop to pull it back and then bring the strap behind you over your head and lengthen this quadricep. Two more breaths. And then releasing the ankle or the strap. And if you used props for your twist on this side, take those with you as you move them toward the left side of your mat. And we'll start by hugging the knees in toward the chest. Drop those knees over to the left side, any amount, until they've landed in a comfortable position, and open those arms out like a T. So you might need to have your knees supported. If this right shoulder is lifting up and you can't relax this arm, then I'd rather you not twist as far. So get a little bit more prop underneath your legs so that you can keep that shoulder blade onto the mat. We can turn our head to the right and hold. And start to fill this intercostal space, the space between each one of your ribs. There's little small muscles there. And expand those muscles as you breathe in. Contract as you breathe out. One more breath as deeply as you can inhale. And exhale completely. And bring your head back to neutral. And just roll over onto this left side. You can remove your props so that you can stack your knees, stack your hands, and draw a nice big rainbow above the head. See if you can continue to touch the floor all the way over the head and all the way out to the side. And then come back over. Hands are going to stack. And two more. Draw the rainbow. And return. Last time, lengthen and hold. So in this one, it's okay if the shoulder doesn't quite touch the floor, as long as it feels comfortable for you. If it doesn't feel comfortable in that right arm, just bring your hand right here to your abdomen, because you've still got the twist, but you don't have your arm hanging in space. We'll take two more breaths. And then draw that rainbow back over the head until the hands stack. And you can create a little bit of a pillow for the side of your head with your left hand. Reach for your right ankle, or take your yoga strap and loop it under the bottom of that foot, or around the ankle of the foot, to pull back and to stretch through the quads. Yeah, let's take three more breaths here. And very carefully release the ankle or the yoga strap. And then from this sideline position, relax for 3 breaths. And then when you feel ready, use the strength of your arms to sit yourself up. Come into a comfortable seated position. You can come into cross-leg pose or extend your legs straight out to the front. Really lengthen through the spine. Notice how your spine's feeling after our practice today. We'll bring those elbows just a little bit lower than the shoulders and rotate to the right. Back to center and left. And center, one more each direction to finish our twist practice. Then press your palms at heart center, thumbs find the sternum, a gentle bow of the chin toward the chest as we pause to reflect on our practice today, to express our honor and gratitude. And the light and love and joy that resides within me honors the light, the love, and joy in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope that felt great in your bodies today. If you have a minute to stay with me, that would be great. Otherwise, I hope to see you tomorrow for our boot camp class. We're going to do some Tabata.